I'm Jeff Provine, and I love a spooky story. I've been researching folklore and haunted sites for over a decade, and I believe, if you listen closely enough, there are great stories everywhere. Let's see what we can find while we're visiting haunts. Welcome to Sulphur, Oklahoma, which in the 1920s and 30s was one of the premier tourist destinations for Oklahoma. People would come here to test the medicinal waters full of sulfur and come stay at the Artesian Hotel, which we have the new one built to downtown. We're going to the Flower Bluff Manor, though, to check out what was going on in the old Ramsey house and now steakhouse and inn.
This was built by Jesse Denton Ramsey back in 1924. Before he moved here, he lived in Tennessee, and he also lived in Lawton. So he moved to Sulphur. He liked the area of Sulphur. He loved the mountains. He loved the natural healing waters. He loved the muds that we had. And back then, you know, before antibiotics and stuff like that, a lot of people came to Sulphur on the railroad to experience, you know, some kind of healing with the sanitariums and stuff they had here. So we used to have bathhouses and stuff in Sulphur. It was a booming town back in the 20s and the 30s and stuff. So he capitalized on it and he built this, and it was originally going to be a theater, but then he met his mistress, Miss Sophia, and he decided to make the house for her. Yes, so he turned it into a home and he built a theater downtown, closer to where the Artesian is now.
Oh, okay.
So,
good spot.
yeah, so our little town has a lot of interesting things. It's got a Lady of the Lake, it's got the ghosts that are in here, and the winery has a few ghosts, and there's just the undead walk the streets sometimes in Sulphur, and it's kind of an interesting place if you're into the ghost tours and stuff. We do those quite often here at the manor, and Mr. Ramsey is still in the home. He is very prominent in the home. This is still his house according to him, and he usually makes himself known if he wants to. I think last time you guys were here, he turned the music on.
He did, yes.
Yes, and I think you caught a few ghosts recorded on your
Yeah,
Tales
very loud
Unveiled.
VP, yeah.
Yeah. So they do let themselves be known, and they don't like when people don't believe in them. That's when they really kind of ramp up and do things, flicker lights or stuff. So
Cool.
Yeah. So this is our entry dining room, is what we call it, the fireplace room, and this is where, you know, it's more warm and intimate during the winter months. You know, we like to do that. We have extra seating in here with a TV, of course, for classes or whatever. They can do them in there. We have it set up, and then here is our main dining room and bar area.
Cool. Well, let's check it out.
So this is our bar, and Mr. Ramsey's mainly seen in here. We do have Miss Sophia in here. Did you hear that? This painting was done. We have knocking in this closet sometimes too, and that really freaks me out. I get kind of
Coming from the inside?
yeah, no, it'll knock in the inside of the closet. Like it'll be like a knock, like somebody's trying to get out, and there's nobody in there. So
It's got a doorknob they can handle themselves.
yeah, I think so too.
Stay
Yeah,
over here.
I don't know what that noise is over there.
Maybe it's just the floor settling?
No, I don't think so. It's in that closet. I don't know why that closet makes noise. It's full of our liquor, so it's not anything. Anyways, Mr. Ramsey, this was painted by Cassandra. She's a local lady. She's also does a lot of Marie Laveau's paintings, a voodoo witch in New Orleans, and she painted Mr. Ramsey, which is over on that wall. And then we've also caught Mr. Ramsey a lot in this room. We used to have a table sitting here, and that's usually where he sat.
Oh, well.
I have a painting over here, or a picture on the wall, where I had a couple that came in for their anniversary, and the bartender took a picture of them, and she sent me the picture. And outside this window, you'll see the staircasing, Mr. Ramsey, and we think it may be Miss Sophia, were posing in the picture.
There you go. Good photo bomb.
They photobombed it. So I cut the couple out, and I just posted, or I just took a picture of that and hung it up for him. So yeah, but so yeah, he's very prominent in this area. And Miss Sophia, like I said, we have a deal on this wall or on this door of Miss Sophia, and when you do the ghost tour, we can bring her out. Yes, and she will actually appear through the door. It's a pencil painting that's been painted over several times. But
Interesting.
And when we talk to her, she'll start to come through. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
So yeah.
So very vivid.
And that's part of the tour. Our tours usually take about an hour and a half. It just depends on if the ghosts are active. Sometimes they'll last till 5 in the morning if the people are really active.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it just kind of, I let the ghosts do their thing if they come through, and if we have people that are sensitive and that the ghosts will want to talk to them. And I have a lot of people, it's really interesting, that'll pull stuff out about our ghost. We have a lot of psychics that do come through. They've picked up on several ghosts that we didn't know about, and they would tell me stuff that happened to me by myself in the kitchen that the ghost told them was going on.
Wow.
You know, we had a one boy that worked here, and he wasn't doing much of his job, and I was at the clothing store that I had, and a rug flew across the floor and scared him, and he wouldn't come back in here by himself. There was a woman that came to do a tour, and she was sitting in the chair, and I was starting the tour, and she looked at me, she goes, "That man ran that cook off." And I said, "Ma'am, what are you talking about?" She goes, "Well, when that rug flew across the floor, he did that so that cook would leave because he wasn't going to help you do good." And this woman was from like Maine or Maryland or something. I had never told that story. It was like right before I even opened when this happened. So the rest of the tour, I was like, "Okay, I think you should lead the tour now, and you tell me the ghost you see,
Absolutely.
and I'll tell you if it's true or not." So we do get a lot of legitimate psychics in here, and it's really fun to listen to what they bring in or what they pick up, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that did happen." So it's pretty fun. It's an interesting place. This is our small kitchen, and whenever you're in the kitchen, you can see people walk by, the shadow people, and that's why I have, like I said, the curtains on these that door, and then I put a curtain up there because I'm here quite often by myself, and I don't like that. So I put earbuds in and do audible books, and
there you go.
Keep my head down and try not to. They usually don't bother me, but there are a few times with the entity we have upstairs that I'll go upstairs, and I just don't feel like today's the day to go up there, and I'm just like, no, I'm okay. I'm not going up that. And most of our ghosts do reside in the rooms upstairs. We have a little boy, girl ghosts. Both of them are upstairs. Usually Thomas, you can hear him running upstairs, like it's running up and down the stairs, just like a teenage or a little kid playing. It's kind of cool.
Cool. Well, can we go check him out?
Yes, we can go upstairs and check him out. Okay, so this is Miss Sophia's room. Cool. There's a couple entities in here.
Okay, multiples.
Multiples, yes, there's multiples in here. And I like to talk about one of them on the tour, and it has to relate to the violin I have over there. So when we come on the tour, I'll talk about her, and then I'll light a candle, and as she's in here, she'll flicker the candle, which is pretty cool. They're just Dollar Tree candles, but they like to communicate through them. But I smell cigar really strong in here right now. I don't know if y'all smell it.
Ooh. Well, if anybody's here, thanks for hosting us.
Yes, yeah, it's a very strong smell of cigar, which there's no smoking in the building, so that's definitely a strong smell I smell. But so the room will go in here, and it has a fireplace. So if anybody stays, you get both of these areas to stay in. Okay, so this is our doll room. There's a lot of activity in here. So we have Lilith in here, which is our little girl, and we have Thomas, and they're pretty active. And then we have a dog, Ghost, we've discovered over the last year, and my cedar that's downstairs, Jennifer, she hears them a lot. I've heard him one time, but that's it. It's really one of the most active rooms we have is this area right in here.
So you'll hear toys moving around the floor. What other things?
Oh yes. The toys will go off. Like I said, Thomas will run up and down the hall. You'll hear him running really fast down the hall.
Lots of Raggedy Ann dolls, just like famous Annabelle.
Yes. My mom had made those for my older daughter, and a lot of these dolls were my older daughter's, and she was totally scared of them and would never let us put them in the house. So one night I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, we'll make that a doll room, because we have all of these antique dolls. And it kind of just fit with the theme of this area and the way the colors were and stuff. Yeah,
and Lilith and Thomas seem to like them pretty well. So
yes, Lilith
going to good use.
Yes. And then down the hall, I'll show you the rest of the rooms.
So you called him an entity versus the ghost.
Yeah.
So where did he come from?
When we first got the place, we went down to the basement, and there was somebody had done a ritual in here, and there was like an upside down pentagram, candles all around it, and there was a spot on the wall. It was like a blood spot on the wall. So I don't know what they did, but from what the psychics say, they conjured up an entity. He's not of this world. He's not been previously alive or anything, and he just kind of roams this back area. People have seen him, and those who have seen him say he looks kind of like a Tasmanian devil.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's kind of short, long-armed, and just like this thing, and it peers around the corner at people that are psychic. And it's crazy because they'll come in here and they'll see the same thing as other psychics have seen, and that's how I know. They'll go, okay, yeah, he's back here, and it growls. It'll growl back here too. We've had several that'll say that they'll hear growl like right when they walk through that threshold of that area, and he'll growl like, get out of here. So I don't know if you'll pick up anything.
Wow.
I know. So
if he wants us out, we're out.
Yeah. And there are times, like I said, when I'll come upstairs and I'll just feel like, not today. Not today. I'm not going to be up there today. So, but yeah, it's the ghost tours are fun. They're at night. I always do them at night after the kitchen's closed and everybody's quiet. So they usually start between 9:30 and 10, depending on how long. We light candles up here. We will turn the candles on in the rooms, and they'll flicker really, really fast if they're there, and then I'll tell it to stop. It'll stop, and then I'll be like, do you want to talk anymore? And it'll flicker yes, or it'll go like this, no, and then if it flicks it, the candle flicks, it means go, and we go, because we don't mess with the ghost. If they want us to leave, we leave. So.
Yeah, that's right. Don't want to be a bad guest.
Yeah, because they are spirits, and I think they get irritated with us as much as we get irritated with them sometimes. So. Yeah. So,
I believe it.
Yeah, and then this bedroom has this bathroom, and this bathroom's interesting. It is, we call this the weeping bathroom, and we had found this out from a person that owned it about 20 years ago. Now this bathroom has been completely redone, big shower, you know.
Nice.
So. It was just this. This was the bathroom about 20 years ago before this was remodeled. There's a spot on the ceiling though that weeps, and they said this is where the second wife would go to weep when he would go off with his mistress. Oh wow! And Mr. Ramsey had built a tunnel from here underneath the ground that went over to Miss Sophia's house. So, and you guys can see that across the street. That was her home. And that's how he would go visit her.
Wow.
He would go sneak through the tunnel, and then the second wife would come up here and weep. The insulation's not wet above here. There's no plumbing above there. We've went up there and looked, and it's just the weeping ceiling.
Just the right spot.
And everybody that's ever been here said it's just where she would come weep is the legend, so.
Wow.
We are in the basement.
A very Oklahoma basement.
Yes, with moist floor and everything.
That's right.
Yes. So this is the basement that is currently the only part of the basement that's left that used to go all the way through the house. They filled it in over the years. I'm not for sure why. Legend has it that he had little rooms in there where he would take people and torture them to do his bidding, you know, the little legends of Sulphur. But so this is all we have left. According to, I had some people that had came and had purchased the place a long time ago, and they had said that the tunnel was this way. It went back up and through here, and then it went around, and it would go down the road to see Miss Sophia. So the tunnel's supposedly in this area right here. This is where we had the ritual. When we first got the place, someone had broken in and did a pentagram, and I think this is where we got our entity upstairs named, we call him James. I don't know how we came up with the name James, but someone had said his name was James. So
and it just stuck.
It did, it stuck. So it's James's room, and James's room is right above this. So he comes down here and goes up to his room and scares people. So yeah, I don't stay in James's room, never have. So
So a very cool part of this, just for my folklore side of this, you know, it's not just one story, and it's not just one other story kind of layered on. It's so many different aspects all building together into something like you wouldn't see anywhere, let alone expecting in Sulphur, Oklahoma.
Right. Oh yeah, like, I mean, over the years from when he built it in the 20s, you know, we have psychic people come in, and we have investigators, and we pick up so many different more ghosts, and you never know. We may have 10 ghosts come through, we may have just one, and maybe Thomas. Usually when Thomas comes through, especially if there's women there, I think he misses his mom because your leg will get really cold. A woman on the side of her leg will get cold. It's like he's holding her leg or something. So usually that's when we know Thomas is close, and that's kind of sweet, but it's kind of sad, you know. And we still don't know who Thomas is. Most psychics feel like their head is hit, like something with their head. So we don't know if he had like fall or whatever.
Ran in the house too much, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, because he does run upstairs a lot. Yeah. He makes a lot of noise. He's a little prankster. So.
Well, come on out on a tour and meet him. Like, at least something, you'll have something happen for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever not had a tour where something didn't show up. So they usually do. And if you don't believe, like I said, the music will start playing and you'll feel something. And then they try to explain it. And I'm just like, okay, keep trying, but it's a ghost, so.
Wow, there was a lot going on with that tour. But just the tip of the iceberg for Sulphur, Oklahoma. You can come down for yourself and check out Bigfoot living in the park, Fairy Fountain down by the creek, or the famous Lady of the Lake still floating out there where she said she lost her child years ago. So come on a ghost tour, stay at the bed and breakfast, or just come in to get something tasty to eat, because it doesn't always have to be spooky.